Hey, beautiful people. Happy New Year from Hannah and I. Hannah?
And Jake.
And Jake and I. We just wanted to do a little video this evening because we're obviously about to go not only into a new year, but also a new decade. It's kind of crazy to think that 20 years ago, when it was 2000, everyone thought the internet was about to explode and the world was going to go crazy and all the shops were going to shut and none of that happened, obviously. And 20 years later, it's kind of crazy, we're the end of another decade and so much has changed in this last decade for me. And I think for you?
Yeah, totally. Like literally 10 years ago, I was in Sandhurst. So I was doing my military officer training. So I was more than likely outside in a puddle somewhere being fake shot at. But no, in that time, I've joined the army. I deployed on operations. I came out as transgender. I was terrified. I was really worried about what that was going to mean for my work, my friends, my family. And, and here I am now in a really positive place. Married, expecting our first child. And even though there was a rocky road to get here, it was totally worth it. And it's amazing how much you can change your life in such a relatively short period of time.
Yeah. So, 10 years ago, I was just starting my medical transition and life was pretty dark and had been pretty dark for quite a while. And I burned loads of bridges. I was barely speaking to my family. It was pretty tough times. And, I was more kind of a nightmare getting up to transition. And then when I told my mum that I was transitioning, everything kind of took a more positive turn. And it's not like it happened overnight because I had years of bridges and relationships to rebuild with my family. And it took a long while, but finally we got there and things are now in quite a positive space. And obviously in the last decade, Hannah and I met. We've made loads of films together now. We have travelled the world and spoken to lots of different people about what it is to be trans and what it is to be in a trans couple. And amazingly, we found our wonderful surrogate and we are expecting our first baby in April of next year.
3 months.
Terror. And we've got so many babies around us at the moment as well. And my best friend is having a baby 5 weeks ahead of us. And lots of our other friends are having babies at the moment. So there are babies everywhere. As we've said before, if you're trying to have a baby and you're not quite getting there yet, please don't lose hope because there is hope. And we, this time last year, were pretty desperate and pretty down, and things got better, and we found someone, and someone is helping us, and had we not found someone to help us with surrogacy, the next step would have been adoption. So we're really, really lucky, and we also know that obviously that the political situation, the situation across the world, it does feel like things have taken a kind of worrying lean towards the right.
Yeah, it's undoubtedly there, but I always think that what we're seeing is amplified by the media, who are particularly, generally speaking, not very pro-trans and trans equality. And so what I try and hold on to is the hope and the realisation that there is a lot of people who are now understanding what it means to be trans from the cisgender community, and actually we have a huge amount of support out there. And whilst there are a vocal minority of people who are trying to tear us down, there are many more of us trying to pick us up. So I take that hope into 2020, into the new decade, and hope that in 10 years' time we'll be telling a much more positive story, I think.
Yeah, we need our allies. So allies, trans allies, we know we've got lots that follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much for following us. And please, if you hear transphobia and you hear someone being nasty about us or our community, particularly because most of them won't have met anyone trans, then please do stick up for us if it is safe to do so. What's
your favourite moment of the last decade?
Favourite moment? Probably marrying you.
Mine was watching Wales win the Six Nations.
Don't know why I bother. Anyway, all of you, Happy New Year. And if things are a little bit dark at the moment, then, a new dawn, new day. And there is always a fresh start to every day. And there is always a chance to make things better and to move on and to make a fresh start and to build those bridges. And, please, if there's anyone that you want to tell that you love them, then tell them you love them. Because, life is very, very fleeting. And I know that's a bit cheesy, but, it's worth looking after all the people you love and telling them so. I love you.
I love you too. Celebrate hard, look after yourself, and we'll see you in 2020.
Happy New Year!